So I want to give you all a Charlie Kirk assassination update. And this will not be long, but just a few words, a few minutes to give you my analysis up to date after having had an extra week to further analyze and study and research from what I said in my address to you last Sunday. So I'll begin with what I've learned since last Sunday, that I believe to be legitimate. What I've learned since last Sunday that I believe to be legitimate. Number one, before and shortly before Kirk's murder, Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, offered Charlie Kirk $150 million to toe the Israeli line. $150 million. To stop asking questions about Israel. Charlie rejected that offer. How many people do you know would turn down $150 million? He rejected it, and he rejected it firmly, adamantly, and angrily. He was insulted that he would even be made such a bribe. Number two, shortly afterward, by the way, let me just say, and this is speculation on my part, and this is impromptu because this is not for certain, and I'm looking ahead a little bit. But I'm fearful in the terms of trepidation and angst about what I foresee, and I hope I'm wrong. It appears that Charlie's wife, Erica, is going to be taking the helm at Turning Point USA. And I'm not at all convinced that she shares Charlie's newfound convictions about Israel. My feeling is that she is very, very pro-Zionist.
Yes.
And my fear is that she will take the helm, she will get the money, she will get the Zionist backing, they will control the narrative, and she will try to turn the thoughts and the hearts and the minds of all the young people that followed Charlie and are now questioning Zionist Israel and our unconditional support for the genocide in Gaza, etc., and will try to reel them back in, to harness them back in to the Zionist narrative. And I'll just say, I hope and pray I'm wrong. We'll probably know by this time next Sunday whether I'm right or not. But I think that might be the plan B to try and thwart the influence that Charlie has had in helping to wake up so many people to the truth. But anyway, what I've learned since last Sunday that I believe to be legitimate, soon after Kirk's murder, Netanyahu offered him $150 million to toe the Israeli line. Charlie refused. Number two, after Netanyahu's phone call offering him the $150 million, Zionist billionaire donor and personal associate of Netanyahu, Bill Ackman, invited Kirk to his home in New York, where he and other high-profile Zionists browbeat and threatened Kirk to toe the Israeli line. So first, Netanyahu himself calls him on the phone, makes him the offer. Charlie rejects it. Then he's summoned to Bill Ackman's home in New York, and there's a bunch of Zionists there, high-powered billionaire people, and they just read him the riot act, browbeat him, threaten him to make sure that he comes in line and doesn't stray on the Israel narrative. Right after that, Charlie went on Megyn Kelly's show and told the world that Israeli big shots were threatening him. So not only did he not listen to Benjamin Netanyahu, not only did he not succumb to the threats of these billionaire Zionist donors in their house, who were demanding that he recant, etc. Not only did he not do that, he went on Meghan's show, told everybody that Israeli big shots were threatening him. He also repeated this to his friends in private, and he told them that he was afraid Israel was going to assassinate him after these two encounters. I believe all of that to be factual. Number 3, Candace Owens reports that she has seen the video from the camera located directly behind Kirk, so up there in the tent behind him, that she has seen the video of the shooting located from that camera. Candace said that she saw no blood coming out of the back of Charlie's neck after the shot. Now, she said that emphatically, and I watched her podcast when she said it with great conviction. I have no reason to doubt her word. She said there was no blood coming out the back of the neck after the shot. Number 4, I believe that to be true. These are the things that I believe to be true since last Sunday. Number 4, and finally, Bill Ackman, the billionaire Zionist, offered the 22-year-old kid's father, the kid who was arrested for the crime, the kid who was charged with the crime of killing Charlie Kirk. Bill Ackman offered that kid's father $1 million for turning his son over to the police. I believe those things to be true. All right, now, questions that still need to be answered. Number 1, where is the footage from behind Charlie, the camera behind him, the one that Candace says she saw? How come we haven't seen that footage yet? We saw a member of TPUSA taking it down, putting it in a bag. Why hasn't that been released? Why hasn't the public seen that video? Number 2, where is the footage from the camera directly in front of Charlie and to his left? Now, that would be right there where Alan is sitting. That is the vantage point of that second camera that I'm referring to, directly facing Charlie. Where is the footage from that camera? Those two camera footages would absolutely prove exactly how and where Charlie was shot. Without a doubt, those two camera angles would solve those questions. Number 3, why haven't authorities released the results of the autopsy? If they are so confident that their narrative is true, they wouldn't have any problem allowing the autopsy to confirm that what they're telling us is true. But we haven't seen the autopsy. I don't think we ever will. Number 4, why haven't we heard anything about the private jet owned by a Zionist millionaire that took off a few minutes after the assassination and turned off its transponder shortly after takeoff? We know that happened. Why have we not heard any news about that? Who was on the plane? Where did it go? For an hour, the transponder was off. Air traffic control had no idea where he was. And then he comes back and lands at the same Orem Airport. Where is the information about that? Number 5, and to me this is a big one. Why was the site of Charlie's murder, that's a crime scene where somebody was killed, not immediately sealed off by the police?
That's right.
It was never sealed off by the police. I mean, that's why you saw the member from TPUSA going up by himself, taking the camera down, shoving it in his bag. Look around. There's not a law enforcement person anywhere in the area. Why did they not seal off the crime scene immediately? That's the first thing law enforcement does after a crime, especially a crime of this nature, is they completely seal off the crime scene. They didn't do this. Why not? Number 6, I don't know whether you've seen this over the last 48 hours. Why have authorities allowed construction to take place at the crime scene? As we speak right now, there are construction workers and there's heavy equipment that is working on the crime scene. In other words, they are completely altering and covering up the crime scene. And they're doing it with the permission of the authorities. There's no policeman there to say, hey, you can't bring in heavy equipment and put down concrete or take up concrete, and you can't have a construction crew out here work. The exact spot where Charlie was shot is now under construction. This is a crime scene. How? Why? My conclusions thus far, 4 of them. Number 1, the official FBI narrative is impossible to believe. I am absolutely convinced that the killing could not have happened the way they said it happened. I'm convinced of that with all my heart. Number 2, I'm absolutely convinced that the 22-year-old kid did not shoot Charlie Kirk. I'm absolutely convinced of that. Number 3, I'm absolutely convinced that Kirk was not shot with a .30-06 caliber rifle. I am convinced of that. And number 4, I am convinced that Charlie Kirk's killing was a professional assassination. I truly believe that it was a professional assassination with professional assassins, and that 95% of the time means you're talking about state actors. Now, I'm not going to fill in the blank any more than that because I can't speak authoritatively beyond that. But those 4 things, I'm absolutely convinced. Thank you.